Everyone in the world has gone to bed one night or another with fear or pain or loss or disappointment. And yet each of us has awakened, arisen, somehow made our ablution, seen other human beings, and said, "Morning, how are you? Fine, thanks, and you?" It's amazing. Wherever that abides in the human being, there is the nobleness of the human spirit. Despite it all, black and white, Asian, Spanish, Native American, pretty, plain, thin, fat, vowed or celibate, we rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom just 'cause I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh. As if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh, does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising. I'm delighted that he had the dream. I'm delighted that if he awakened right now, he could also say, some of my dream has come to pass, and see that there are African-American family in the White House, a man and a woman and their children and a grandmother, a black grandmother in the White House. My goodness. At the same time, I think he would be disappointed to hear we have not come any farther. And so my hope is that the dream, we can awaken from the dream and find that some of the elements of the dream have come to pass.
What do you make of that economic disparity?
I think that the economic disparity comes from a disparity larger and deeper and older than the economic disparity. We are all suffering from the ashes of slavery. We all still think, there are people who still think that black people are not full citizens and do not deserve full salaries equal to the salaries given to white workers. And as long as we believe that, we're never going to have parity. We're never going to have fairness. We will never have an equal distribution of labor and respect and courtesy. We will never have it. But I do believe that we have to do something about what we believe about each other and what we really believe about ourselves. It's imperative that we do so. If you as a white man and I as a black woman, if you really think that we are different, then there's something terribly wrong. Initially, I wanted to take him to Africa, yes. We had lived 2 years in Egypt. I wanted him He's a black boy. He was a black boy in a white world that is rife with racism and ignorance. Now, racism is its own greatest enemy. In that, if you resist it, you might free yourself.
Yeah.
That is not just the person who is the object of racism, but the racist himself or herself. So that it really one can fight against it and come out clean and strong and brave. But for a young black boy, I didn't think he would have the tools at 13 or 14 to fight against it. I wasn't able to provide him a climate where he could at least not use racism as a crutch.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, the excuse.
The excuse, exactly, an alibi. So I had wittingly taken him to North Africa and then planned his university in Ghana. The accident took place the third day we were there.
I know.
And I had no friends, or didn't know I had friends there. I was absolutely devastated and felt terribly sorry for myself.
God was playing a lousy trick on you.
A terrible trick on me. Because I thought, Guy, my son, might die. Then he would go to wherever good souls and young souls go. And he would be free of it all. But I would be left with that terrible, immobilizing grief. I remember that in the songs of the black diaspora. At no time does one hear about the people in heaven crying for those who are still here on earth. So obviously it would be me crying for him. And I just went into a depression so deep.
And there was a wonderful woman who said to you, Maya, I am your sister. You need a sister friend now more than you need a job or anything else. Cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
She told me something so important. She said, you not only need to cry, you need to have someone watch you cry. Now that is so opposite to my upbringing as an American.
Yeah.
Because despite my African background or whatever, or if I had Jewish background or Buddhist background, my religious background, I have been influenced by the Puritanic concept.
Anglo-Saxon restraint,
Anglo-Saxon.
it is called.
That's it.
Yes.
What was the line you used? Laugh.
And the world laughs with you, cry and you cry alone, so come out with a happy face. Whose mother did not say that in the
Indeed.
United States,
But
right?
this African woman, F.Y. Sutherland, told me, cry, and you need me to watch. You need a sister friend to watch you cry and encourage you. So she sat back, and I did, and I came through. I wept copiously. All the disappointment, all the anger I had against God and man, I was able to weep out, and I felt after as if I had just taken a swim in Bethesda's healing pool. I was through with the depression. Dr. King was a human being. He had a sense of humor, which was wonderful. It is very dangerous to make a person larger than life, because then young men and women are tempted to believe, well, if he was that great, he's inaccessible. And I can never try to be that, or emulate that, or achieve that. The truth is, Martin Luther King was a human being with a brilliant mind, a powerful heart, and insight, and courage, and also with a sense of humor. So he was accessible. I mentioned courage, and I would like to say something else about that, finding courage in the leaders and in you who will become leaders. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You see, you can't be consistently kind or fair or humane or generous. Not without courage, because if you don't have it, sooner or later you'll stop and say, the threat is too much, the difficulty is too high, the challenge is too great. So I would like to say that Dr. King, while we know from all the publicity that he was brilliant and he was powerful, he was passionate and right, he was also a funny man. And that's nice to know. My grandmother, my father's mother, raised me. She was an amazing woman. She told me, sister, when you get, give. When you learn, teach. These are lessons to live by. I thought for a long time that my grandmother was God. She was so tall. And she used to tell me, sister, Mama don't know what she's going to do. Mama just going to step out on the word. Just step out on the word of God. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. People call me stupid, dumb, a moron, an idiot, because I didn't speak for 6 years. I was a mute. And Mama used to tell me when she'd braid my hair was huge and very curly. My mama would say, sister, Mama don't care what these people say, but you must be an idiot, you must be a moron, because you can't talk. Sister, Mama don't care. Mama know when you and the good Lord get ready, you're going to be a teacher. Sister, you're going to teach all over this world. I used to sit there and think, this poor ignorant woman, doesn't she know I will never speak? I've taught at the Bima Theater in Israel, in Tel Aviv. I've taught in Egypt. I've been distinguished visiting professor at the University of Exeter in England. I've taught in Rome and all over the United States. And each time I have another honor, I think of my grandma. So I am grateful to have been loved and to be loved now and to be able to love, because that liberates. Love liberates. It doesn't just hold. That's ego. Love liberates.